All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Crossing Swords. As always, I'm Andrew.
And I'm here to defend our great nation from the invading forces like those bloody charity swimmers.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I reckon you were helping people get across the borders. You work internationally.
I've been taking far more people across borders than that charity boat ever did.
Do you know what I mean? What charity boat are we talking about?
The one that was spotted off the coast by esteemed MP, Rupert Lowe.
Oh, I've missed this, mate. I've been off-grid.
He posted on his Twitter a picture of a boat in the ocean, and he was like, literally right now, in wherever it was, somewhere, I think it was in Kent somewhere.
Oh, was he like, this is migrants?
He was like, literally right now, this is fucking happening. And then it was a charity swimmer, and the boat was the boat that was like helping him along.
Making sure they survived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had to put like £1,000 in the kitty for the charity as like a sorry, and he was like, well, it's still happening, just because that wasn't it.
Yeah, it's quite embarrassing, isn't it?
It's pretty bad.
Is he reform or Tory?
He's reform.
Yeah, makes sense.
But it was,
I believe
it was quite good.
And they've been in the news for like,
look at them. It's like, mate, that's a bloke doing a swim for charity. I don't think that's...
No.
Probably did the charity, probably got so much awareness.
To be fair, did you hear the stat that James O'Brien was putting out there last week when he talked about it? And the question he was asking people, and I did it with Leanne and her mum yesterday because I thought it was interesting. He basically was like, if I was to ask you, what do you think the percentage of illegal, like of all the people that come to this country, how much the percentage of illegal people is?
Are you asking me now?
Yeah, like just a ballpark.
I would hazard a guess that because there's no, this is open to interpretation, and I'm going to walk you through how I interpret it as I go. I guess in terms of the route, I guess quite a few come here because there are no legal routes for many migrants around the world. Yeah. So I think in terms of
people coming
so
to
I
this
think
country,
of all the people that come to the
illegal.
country, and I think I'm going to discount all the people whose migrant status gets approved, which we know is somewhere in the 80% region of the ones coming in here on the boats and whatnot. Then obviously we got the ones coming from other places, Europe, America, South Africa, Australia, Canada, all the ones that have got more easier routes. And I'm going to say that it's definitely less than 10%. I would even say less than 5%. I'm going to go somewhere in the region of 3%.
You know what? Far off, it's 4%.
Oh, come on, please.
And like,
please, listen, motherfucker.
Sometimes my genius is... it's almost frightening.
Because the thing is, and the thing he pointed out was, if you were to look at the media and what's being fed to people... Now, look, you are reasonably informed. Do you know what I mean? So for you were able to logically break it down...
And trying to arrive at an answer.
And you were very accurate. Whereas,
yeah, well, hang on, wait, I got another one.
Yeah, boy.
Whereas when I asked Leanne and her mum, they aren't as engaged in politics. They do watch the news, however, including and especially BBC News. And Leanne's mum said 96%, she thinks.
96%?
She thought 96%.
That's like, even if you're uninformed, no disrespect to Leanne's mum, even if you're woefully uninformed, that is a dismal number to arrive at.
I thought it was quite indicative of showing that someone who watches the news daily and watches
is arriving at such a high percentage.
Leanne said she thought it was somewhere between 30 and 40%, because again, all she sees from the media.
If you'd have asked me what they'd have said, I'd have guessed 20.
No, they went very high, and I was like 4%, and both of them were like, fuck off, that can't be. And I was like, no, the figure is 4%.
And yet, listen,
and I said, like, look, it doesn't mean there aren't a lot of people coming here illegally.
I got there.
But I think for me, it just quite clearly shows that we're being showed a very one-sided side.
Immigration
of the situation.
is a hot topic, always has been, always will be. But I'm so happy that I managed to arrive at that. Yeah. I'm very pleased.
I'm quite impressed. I thought you might go like 10, something like that, which even then wouldn't be bad. But 3% is pretty good.
So 4%. So I slightly undershot.
I don't know what I thought the number might have been, because like he sort of just said the number.
It's hard to know when the information is presented to you, and you're like, "Oh, I don't know what I'd have thought."
Yeah, but I thought it's quite interesting. Like, and I think if you asked most people that aren't engaged in politics, I think they would give a high number. It would be north of
20-25% for most people. Yeah.
And the thing is, what I don't think is that means it completely eradicates the argument that we're spending too much on it, or because I still agree that I think, like, as we've discussed before, the hotel situation, the government's being bent over and local councils.
But we said before, we're addressing the symptoms. If we address the causes, that number's gonna shoot down.
Yeah,
and it's gonna cost us in the long run Far less.
But the thing is, for me, it's the same as the argument for global warming in terms of investing in.
It's going to cost us far less overall.
It's going to cost so much money to stop it. Like, yes, it is, but it's going to cost almost double to not do anything. Do you know what I mean? And that's what we're facing at the moment. Like, we still haven't opened up safe and legal routes, like you just mentioned. We've created a deal with France that, from everything I understand, is sort of like surface level. It might do a little bit to help, but by and large, it's not going to do much, and we're not going to get rid of that many people. Because as you just demonstrated, the amount of people that come here and claim asylum, most of them get it. Do you know? And the ones that don't, we do deport.
I remember reading a report a few years ago, and I remember the number being somewhere in the 80s. The percentage of people who successfully apply, and that's first time. So there's going to be a lot of people that apply, get turned down, and then appeal it, and probably end up successful.
What the interesting discussion I had with Leanne yesterday, because I was like, in my opinion, if I'm someone coming from another country, from desperate poverty and God knows what situations, I don't know if I'd want to come to the UK personally. No. Like, I'd rather be in France. Like, I'm not saying France, but like I said to Leanne, for me, in my opinion, there's so many more options if you're on mainland Europe than if you come to our island, where you've got the options of Scotland, England and Wales, all of which aren't doing that well at the moment.
Not particularly.
So, whereas I look at France, I'm like, they've just cleaned up the Seine. You can go swimming in Paris. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes, please.
Would you not?
Fuck no.
No, they've genuinely.
No.
First time in 100 years, people have been able to swim in certain sections, to be fair, where it's been cleaned up. I would. If they did that to the Thames and there was an area you could go and swim, I would.
That's generational, man.
Yeah, but you can
My kids might go and swim in it, but there's no way I'm going anywhere near them.
Fair enough. Well, look, you better get to work because the birth rate's dropping. Do you know what I
mean? Listen, I've got a lot of housewives.
Have a word with your lady friend. Say, look, we need to.
I'm doing my duty for king and country.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to go and see.
Just the old phrase, lay back and think of England. Do you know what I mean?
Precisely. Think of the birth rate. I'm going to go and see.
Think of the people, babe. It's not about us. It's not
the
about
population is in decline.
Do you know what I mean?
White Brits are on the downturn.
We need to do something. We need to protect British identity. Do you know what I mean?
I'm listening to this chap, this Nigel Farage, I think his name is. Yep. And babe, I promise you.
Tell me more.
We've got to.
There's another really good patriotic Brit that I feel's just really underserved and maligned.
Tell me.
I think his name was it Tommy something? No,
rings a bell.
Stephen Yaxley Lennon.
That's the fella.
Who's for some reason picked a fight with Tony Bellew recently.
Yeah, why not?
Just
hope he knocks him the fuck
Me
out.
too, man. I mean, he's not going to show his face around Tony Bellew.
Well, legally, he's probably not
allowed. To
be
fair, if I fell out with Tony Bellew online, I'm staying well away from Liverpool.
I'm going nowhere near.
No.
On Liverpool, obviously, I can't be a Palace fan and not talk about the fact that Palace have just won the Community Shield.
Wait.
That means, I know, look, a lot of people don't consider it a proper bit of silverware.
For a team like Palace, it feels
that means there are 4 domestic bits of silverware up for grabs, and we currently are the holders of 2 of them.
Yeah.
That's not nothing.
No, it's pretty.
Do you know what I mean? And what I really like about it is, obviously Textor was quite famously a questionable owner, but we haven't done it with loads of oil money. Because even when you look at Newcastle, who have broken the Big Six to win that League Cup, and it was great, the first trophy in years, but they have got the oil money
Saudi
back.
Regime, yeah.
We haven't had any of that.
No. But one thing I would say is I was really disappointed in the section of our fan base that decided to boo the minute silence.
Now, are you aware of the context of this, though?
No, go for it.
So it wasn't booing the minute silence, it was chants from the crowd. But it wasn't chants from the crowd it was chants from the people on the concourse. So people were still coming in.
Right.
And they were on the concourse getting their drinks and whatnot, and they weren't aware that the minute silence had begun.
Right.
And so they were just singing amongst themselves, and the only thing they can hear is themselves.
Okay.
So I'm not discrediting it completely.
Yeah.
But there is a little bit of context to that. I'm not trying to completely
loud enough
justify.
On telly.
Yeah, but when there's silence,
inside, I don't know. It didn't it wasn't muffled in any way. I mean, look, I'm not saying that isn't true, but it feels quite generous to say that there wasn't people in the stadium booing.
I just don't think. Yeah, I'm not a. From everyone I've spoken to that was there, and I know people who have sat in various different sections and were quite spread out at the Palace end.
Okay.
I've heard that it was concourse chanting.
Fair enough.
And that the crowd in the ground, once the whistle went, were actually
Yeah.
respectful.
Fair enough.
So just want to throw that out
Fair
there.
enough. I disagree from what I heard. It didn't
Um,
sound like a concourse booing, but fair enough.
But while I think of it, back to the immigration stat,
Yeah.
are we counting, for example, obviously charity swimmers,
I don't know
skydivers,
if
when
they
they
were
come back into the country? Are we counting them?
I mean, do skydivers leave the country?
Oh, they're up high.
Yeah, but they're still in British Airways.
How high does the airspace go? That must be illegally. I'm going to write into
That's a very good
what's
question.
the James
Should we
O'Brien
Google it?
show he does?
Oh, what? Mystery Hour?
Mystery Hour.
Do you want me, I could just Google it now.
Yeah, just Google it. Does it go all the way to space?
I is
You know what I mean? Atmosphere,
British
stratosphere. What are we talking about here?
airspace.
Because when a satellite goes overhead, that's not entering British airspace.
There's not really an answer for that by the looks of things. That might be something you do have to send in.
I'm gonna. When is it? Oh, it's today, isn't it? It was
Apparently,
today.
we have 3 layers: upper, middle, and lower. The upper airspace extends from 25,000 to 46,000 feet, which is primarily used by large commercial aircraft. Middle airspace is from 7,500 to 24,500, which is for smaller commercial aircrafts, and lower airspace is up to 7,000.
It's interesting. So up to about 46,000. So in theory, if you went like 47,000 feet,
Yeah.
you're absolutely. I mean, you listen. No one's jumping out from 47,000 feet.
I mean, it says sovereign airspace extends 12 miles from the UK coastline. So I'm assuming
From the
everything
coastline?
within that
oh, I see. Yeah,
boundary,
going outwards.
doesn't matter how high is British
know.
airspace. But yeah, you could ask
It's a
James.
ponderance.
I like it. Fair enough. Do you want to hear what the glorious leader of the opposition thinks we should do about immigration? Or about the migration? I've got a little clip.
Sure, because she's on a winner.
Well, look.
We need to process people in detention centres. We need to build proper camps where we keep people safe, whether they are migrants or the local communities. But just having people who can stay in a hotel, go out and come as they please, whether or not they're criminals, we have no idea who these people are. I don't think that that's right, and it's gone on long enough.
These camps, are they tents? Are they for buildings? What are these camps?
we'll get them
Well,
to
I
build it.
remember during COVID when we were able to build Nightingale hospitals very quickly. There are examples of how we've done this before. So that's not where I am an expert at. What we need is the government to actually get the people who are experts to figure out what the solution can look like. It can be done. There's no point just making excuses. And what worries me most is that the government will say they're taking people out of hotels and just put them into into private accommodation, which will be even harder for us to track what's going on. And that's what really worries me now. Labour should not be doing that. They need to build proper places where we can put people coming to our country illegally. But the thing that will fix this problem, what will stop the boats, is a deterrent, which means they don't come here in the first place.
We need a deterrent, Jay.
I mean, it can be done. What worries me is that it was done and no one's learnt the fucking lesson.
It feels a bit familiar, doesn't it?
I'm fairly certain we covered this in a history class once. It's got a lot of rings to it.
Look, sometimes you got to take lessons from history, Jay. I feel like we're taking...
Israel have.
Yeah. They were like, that seemed like quite an effective way to deal
That was a
with
pretty
people you
good idea.
don't like. I mean, look, that's what...
Jesus fucking Christ.
What worries me, though, is I can imagine Keir Starmer hearing that. Going, do you know what? She might be onto something.
Oh, I know all about building things. My father was a toolmaker,
He used tools to build things.
and I will use tools to build camps.
What I love is I've had this random thing start coming up on my TikTok of like, do you know you get like montages of like epic moments for characters and TV shows?
Yeah.
People doing that for Keir Starmer. And it just doesn't work because nothing about Starmer looks like charismatic or in tip. Do you know what I mean?
He's the antithesis of charisma.
Yeah.
Like Boris Johnson, as much as I think
Well-
he's a fucking bellend, and there's many, many things I dislike about
Yeah.
him, hate, but to a certain crowd, he had a certain charm,
Yeah,
a
and a
charisma
presence
almost.
to him to a degree.
Yeah.
Whereas Keir Starmer, like, there was even a thing of him like doing the thing to his jacket and
I know we've sat here and commented a few times on some of the things he said in various question times and stuff, Prime Minister's questions and stuff, but he's never really clapped anyone back. I don't think he's ever said anything funny.
no, I mean, I think he's had like maybe a couple of moments with the glorious leader of the opposition, Kemi
But
Badenoch.
and that's just
Our
her
Lord
shooting
and
herself in
Saviour,
the
do you know
foot.
what I mean? It's just normally that she's so bad.
Because while we're on Kemi Badenoch, I did see a story while I was away.
Go for it.
And it was her what people are referring to as her fields of wheat moment.
Oh, no. What's she done?
She came out and she said, because I think the question in the context was like, what makes a good leader? And she was like, integrity, and it's about doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And she said, when I was in school, she said, I
dreamt of the camps.
I saw a boy cheating in an exam, and I told the teacher, and he was expelled. And that was it. It was like, that's how to appeal to the people.
Yeah, to tell them you're a grass.
I'm a grass, but it's all right because I'm going to stick brown people in a camp.
Yeah. But she can say that because she didn't originate from Britain. Do you know what I mean? I think like I know, and she said she's like, I no longer feel anything other than a British. She hasn't held what is it? Is it Kenyan? She's got a passport. It might be Nigerian.
Nigeria. No, it is Nigeria. You're right. And she's gone. I haven't held a Nigerian passport for 15 years. I'm like, well, that would go against you when you're dealing with the far right.
Well, not if you're telling them you're going to build camps to put people in. Do you know what I mean?
That's going to help.
They're going to like it. They're going to like it.
You're going to like it.
Yeah. I just thought, honestly, when I saw it, I was like, what?
You have to stop and listen to it again. I mean, like, we're not going to, but
I mean, we can.
You're just like, sorry.
Yeah, your face when she said we're going to build like we should build camps. Your face was.
And then she extended on it by going, these people coming into hotels and being able to just like go out into the street.
Come and
you're
go
like,
as they please.
Sorry, what?
I mean, it's not funny. It's dreadfully scary. But yeah, that's where we're at.
It's not great.
No.
It's not good.
No. But then that's where I feel like, to a degree, like I'm starting to think maybe the splitting of the votes amongst different places might be for an overall benefit. Because I can see a world where Reform don't get enough votes to...
And they have to go with the Conservatives.
Or, like, they don't have enough collectively, and it means we end up with a much wider... like government formed by maybe 3 or 4 parties rather than one.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Do you know what I mean? Like a coalition of 3 or 4, potentially more left wing. Like I could imagine I don't necessarily think they'll be big enough in time for the next
Labour, Lib Dem, Independent. What your party or whatever?
Potentially, because they've had 500,000 sign-ups when I last looked, and it's been a couple.
It's the power of Corbyn. Like he still has a core following that are not going anywhere.
No. What do you think that is? I mean, I think I know what that is, but just for our listeners.
I think it's a pragmatic, dogmatic approach to sticking to one's beliefs
no matter what.
And knowing that regardless of which way the political flag swings, that come the end of the day, you're not trying to appeal to one crowd or the other on any given day. You're trying to place your name in the history books. On what you truly believe is the right side of history.
Do you think he's motivated by that? Do you think he's motivated by being seen as a positive figure?
No, I think he's just got. I just think he. This is going to sound like a weird way to phrase this. So I'm really hoping it comes across. I think he believes in his beliefs.
Yeah.
Like I think he holds these certain beliefs and moral views, and I think he just believes in them so strongly that he's like, I have to be true to that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's bothered about what people think about him. I think obviously there's a little bit of that. He's a politician. You can't not be. But I genuinely think that that's what appeals to people is so that, like Keir Starmer right now, I know he was never really left wing. In fact, he was like,
no, but he was
getting rid of the
left-wing things.
But he was saying some sort of centre-left things. Yeah. And then as soon as the political, the rise of Reform and Nigel Farage and the political flag is swaying a bit, so he's just like, well, I better change my tune to get... It's like, I know we said it before, I've said it before, they're never going to vote for you. There's no point trying to appeal to a fan base, or a voter base, that are never, ever going to vote for you. It's a waste. All you're going to do is alienate the ones that will vote for you. And that's all that's happening.
You sell away your integrity for nothing.
But that's all that's going to happen. That's all that's happening. The people that did vote Labour are now not bothered about voting Labour. Yeah. I genuinely think that's what it is with Corbyn. I think people admire that, and I think I think also time has shown that more often than not he has been on the right side of the coin. Yeah. I'm not sticking my thing fully behind him. What do you think it is?
No, I tend to agree. I think he's just a principled politician. He's the most rebellious politician in the history of Labour. Over 400 times he rejected the whip. That on its own actually shows a lot of integrity, I think, because no one else even gets close to that. Do you know what I mean? It didn't matter what the issue was, whatever they were voting for, he voted with his conscience and his integrity and what he thought was best for not just his constituents but for the people in general.
Yeah.
And whenever I listen to him, look, I still think the negatives about him in terms of being a grumpy old man who's not good at leading a party, I think they're all true.
Someone said this, and it might have been you that showed me the quote, or shared with me the quote, but someone said, like, I love everything Jeremy Corbyn says, I just wish someone else was saying it.
Yeah, you need, like we've always said, almost as long as we've been doing this podcast, is that you need a left-wing Boris Johnson in terms of someone, or even Nigel Farage. He's very good at communicating, and it doesn't matter what he's saying. People lap it up. You need someone, and I don't think he's necessarily succeeding, but I think that's what someone like Zach Polanski's trying to do. He's trying to be the person that goes in front of any camera and says what he believes.
That's the thing, and mate, it's the kind of media you digest and stuff. But other than the video you shared with me of him, I haven't seen him anywhere.
Whereas I see him constantly.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what platform I go on. I see him constantly.
I've seen tell a lie. After you shared that video with me, I saw one more post about a video he'd done, like a interview he'd done. Other than that, I've just not seen him at all.
And I've seen him debate other people that are running for the leadership of the Greens on different left-wing podcasts like Pod Save the UK and things like that. And just the difference.
Pretty good name for a podcast.
They sort of took it. There was one called Pod Save the USA, which is quite famous and popular out there. And I wouldn't say they're necessarily left-wing, but they tell you as it is, like what's going on in the USA. And like, it's Nish Kumar and
arguably
Kamala Khan who do the UK version.
So do Fox News.
Yeah, but no, these guys like whereas Fox News, they're bought by their sponsors, aren't they? Like what they talk about and how they talk about is heavily filtered through what they're allowed to discuss.
Pod Save the USA aren't also.
I mean, you could argue that, but
just playing devil's advocate.
To be fair, I don't watch Fox News, so I can't give an accurate reading of how they operate. I have watched Pod Save the USA.
Should we talk a little bit about the USA? Just for one thing in particular.
It's not something I engage
one
with
person, because it's a USA UK crossover.
Go on.
Because the Right Honourable J.D. Vance has been staying with David Lammy, visiting him in his house in the Cotswolds. Now, first of all, do you remember that person who created the image of J.D. Vance with like the big bald baby head, the baby Vance?
I know what you're going to say.
And he got kicked out. Well, he didn't get kicked out. He got refused entry
to the US
based on that social media post.
Yeah.
Well, that's been posted everywhere around the Cotswolds. There's a van that's been driving around with it on the side. It's been on like billboards and stuff. But according to various news reports, including, is it the news agents that do it?
John Sopel?
Yeah, that's who I saw talking about it. John Sopel.
Yeah.
So it was the news agents. Blue background.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because they were reporting on this. That apparently members of J.D. Vance's security team were going around knocking on the doors of local residents to where he was staying.
Right.
And they wanted a list of the people that were staying at the house and their social media accounts.
So they could know how safe he was in that area.
We wouldn't know how much he'd been taking the piss out. I was tempted to just tweet in that moment, J.D. Vance is a cunt. But to be honest, the people of the UK, the good people of the Cotswolds in the UK, refused. They were like,
yeah, what fucking right?
We need a list of everybody staying here on your social media. And they were like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Door in the face.
This ain't your country, you dickhead.
Door in the face.
Like, what right have they got?
And this is after J.D. Vance has done a whole thing in the last 6 months a year talking about free speech in the UK, going, you look at free speech is disappearing.
Well, he did it. He tried to show up Keir Starmer in the White House, didn't he? They were sat there with Donald Trump, and he was like, "Oh, well, there's been issues with free speech in the UK recently, and that will be getting discussed." And Starmer immediately, to be fair to him, chirped in and was like, we have free speech in the UK and we will have free speech for a very long time. I mean, the hilarious thing is, you could argue there are issues with free speech in this country, but not for the reasons J.D. Vance is talking about.
I'll say.
We could discuss the fact, we can't talk about how we feel about it, but we can discuss the fact for over 500 people, I believe, were arrested at a protest regarding
about 465 people arrested, I think, initially, and more maybe since, of which about 420 were there for being part of the protest and having signs or T-shirts that said they support Palestine action, and then another 10 or 15 for various different things, including violence, about 5 for violence, 10 for various other things.
Yeah.
You know, drug, alcohol.
And the thing
relations
is,
or
as I
something.
said, we can't actually give an opinion on what we think about it because they are
Disgusting!
Oh, sorry, I can't say that legally.
Well, technically, you didn't say it because they're a prescribed terrorist group. Any support towards them is seen as an act of terrorism, I believe, and you can be prosecuted for. And that's why that many people were arrested. Everything I've heard, and this feels so disingenuous, is that allegedly there's more to Palestine action than we're aware of. That's
Look,
that's what's
maybe
been,
there is, but
that their action. There's stuff we don't know because of what's it called? Is it not freedom of information? Just that it's top secret, that it's covered by the Secrecy Act or something like that. And it's like, well, wouldn't it be better to, instead of like having these displays going on where nearly 500 people are being arrested?
The problem is as well, and I was part of a conversation recently, and there's been a few conversations like this recently, is that if you release all the information because you want to try and avoid the disinformation and you want to avoid the conspiracy theories, well, all you're going to do is the second you don't release something because for various reasons you can't, you've just lit the flame of...
You've led beautifully into a question I did want to ask, because it is a debate that's been going on in recent weeks, which is, should we be released? So like when there's, when we find out there's been a paedophile ring somewhere or an issue in a particular area with sexual assault, or...
I don't want to tack this on to talking about paedophilia and sexual assault, but I think we should discuss the possibility of getting Hannibal from the A-Team on the soundboard saying, I love it when a plan comes together.
Which version, the Liam Neeson or the original?
Either.
Okay,
I'm happy with either. The George Papard or the Liam Neeson, both good.
By the way, just a sidebar before we get into the
Naked
sad
Gun?
stuff. Yeah, by the way, it does actually look all right, to be fair.
It's
But
got
also,
really good reviews.
The really good feels good story that's come out of it is the fact that Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson have become an item.
Have they?
They've become a couple.
Yeah.
And because they've starred in it together. Because she, to be fair to her, she's growing old like quite gracefully.
Well, she
Do you
made
know
the
what I
decision
mean?
some years ago that she wasn't going to she wasn't going to get any more work done. She wasn't
No.
going to wear makeup to
And
premieres.
She's
and stuff.
gone quite wholesome. Like she's into baking now.
Yeah,
Apparently,
yeah.
she's releasing food lines, cookbooks, and like
Well, it's
just
done the full
I've
fold.
seen clips of them together, and they just seem really sweet together. And I read a story about it, and basically, he's not dated anyone since he lost his wife because he lost her to a tragic skiing accident. Natasha was her name. She was a famous
I know
actor
his son
in her
got
own
really
right.
into drumming. I
Uh,
remember seeing about it. I'm so sorry. I
think
mean
you're
to-
mixing this up.
I don't mean to downplay.
Do you remember, like, we did have a prime minister back then that was fantastic as well. He did a really great speech
Oh man,
against Billy
fuck the
Bob
Yanks.
Thornton.
Yes. David Beckham's right foot. David Beckham's left foot, for that matter.
Harry
Beckham.
Potter.
Why have I gone David Beckham?
David Beckham.
David.
You've gone Australian.
Went like full Kiwi. David Beckham.
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 Fuck David Beckham, by the way. Sorry, Sir David.
Spend less time with dickheads. Spend less
Take
time with
this
dickheads.
oil money.
So,
But yeah, it's just a nice story that's come out that apparently
that's quite
they've
sweet.
fallen for one another. Apparently,
Yeah, I would honestly. I would watch.
Apparently
I do want to watch the Naked Gun movie.
And he was fantastic. He went on Capital recently, and they were like, "You're really deadpan, and like you're very serious in the film, but everything around you is very slapstick." And they were like, "How do you stay straight faced?" And he was like, "I think of my dead mum." And the guy interviewing him just immediately burst out laughing, and he's like dead faced, and he's like, "I'm so sorry." He's like,
I've said it before.
"That was incredibly rude." And then eventually he smirks to let them know.
One of my all-time favourite comedic scenes is Liam Neeson in Life's Too Short.
In Life's Too Short?
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one that he did with Warwick Davis
Yeah.
and Ricky Gervais? And I
Yeah.
always thought that was extras for some reason.
Yeah, no, Life's Too Short when he's like...
Is it extras I'm thinking of?
no, Extras is a thing. Yeah, Extras had a lot of
Was that the one
guest
that
stars.
had Daniel Radcliffe in?
Can I have my Johnny back,
For
please?
some reason I thought
Yeah.
that was all the same thing.
No, the Liam Neeson thing. And yeah, the thing when he's just like, where they like want to do some improv. And he's like...
Shall I see if I can quickly
Yeah.
find it?
I don't know, it's quite long.
Okay, fair enough. I got all excited.
But yeah, and he's all like, he's like, okay, I'm a doctor and you're a hypochondriac. And he's like, oh, you again. He goes, why would you say that? He's like, well, it's just part of the improv. He's like, well, no, don't. He's like, I've got AIDS.
Yeah.
Full blown AIDS from an African prostitute. And he's like, I just think AIDS is really heavy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that whole thing when he's like, that's just not a backstory we agreed
No, it's
upon.
fantastic.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And the whole thing when he's like, I write lists, and that's why I got the role of Oscar Schindler, because I had the inspiration, and they laugh, and he's like,
It's not Joe.
Right, yeah.
That's not part of it.
But his delivery in it is just
As I said, and the guy says to him,
phenomenal.
you've clearly got a very, very dry sense of humour.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I'm actually up for seeing
Me
the
too.
new Naked Gun, just to see how it...
We'll make a CrossingSwords date of it.
Oh, I like it.
And then we'll review it. We could do that.
We could do that. Sat in the cinema with...
That could be part of our
notepad.
Patreon. We could do like a monthly movie review.
I like that. I like
Just
that
for the
idea.
Patreon.
Like, people let us know. Look, do you think we should start a Patreon?
Monthly movie reviews.
Yeah.
We'll listen to Taylor Swift's new album and talk about it.
But the thing is, would you do a watch along, or are you I always like the idea of having a watch along.
I like a watch along. I like watching them on YouTube.
But it might be beyond my editing capabilities.
I believe in you.
I don't. I was impressed that I was able to put the fucking text from
Mate, smashed
Catherine
it.
Ryan.
Smashed it.
But I think that might be beyond my capabilities.
So, I do believe you were talking about rape and sexual assault.
Yes. Fucking hell. We went on a journey. Do you think when these things happen that we should release the information about these people? Not necessarily their names, but their background, their ethnicity, these sort of things.
No, as much as I think I can understand why you'd want to, and people online are going to talk. The fact is, even when I'm guessing this is as a result because of the Southport killer.
I think multiple different things, isn't it?
Because I was listening to a little bit of a phone-in the other day. I think it might have been James O'Brien, actually. I think, I want to be fair.
He has been discussing it.
I was literally I'd had a shit night's sleep. And I was like, I need to go for a nap. So yeah, I put it on because there was just so much noise coming from outside. And I was like, LBC, that'll just get me to sleep. Fucking no worries.
The dulcet tones of James O.B.
So, and I was like, actually, I'm really glad I listened now, because I must have listened for about 15 minutes before I dozed off. And I was like, I'm really glad that it was that 15 minutes, because they were talking about it. And James O'Brien was kind of saying, look, the information that we know from the court, because now the information from the trial has actually been released, we know that he had an obsession with violence and murder, and that's literally what motivated the crime. He was someone who there was no ideological background, because yes, he'd read some books by certain Islamic extremists, but he'd also read books by Christian extremists.
Yeah.
Like, it was the violence and the extremism that drew him, not the ideology. And that's been proven. Like, it's there. We've got the court documents. And the bloke was like, well, that's just your belief. I do think it wasn't ideologically. So my point from that is, these people are going to talk anyway. They're going to theorise anyway, whether you release it or not. And I actually think it's in the better interest of the public long term not to release it.
I think I disagree with you.
After the trial kind of thing.
I think I disagree with you. The reason
But then what happens when you don't release it for whatever reason?
What do you mean?
What happens when, for some reason, you're dealing with a really sensitive case and you can't release the information?
The Southport or the Axel Rudabakana case, in terms of, like, it was being theorised before it was released anyway, and people are going to believe what they want to believe. I would rather us be in a situation, and it's quite a simplistic way of thinking about it, that we put it out and people are going to believe what they want to believe anyway. As you've just demonstrated, people are going to believe that he was motivated by Islam or whatever they want to say. But then you can just call out those people for being racist. Do you know what I mean?
But does it matter if they don't believe you?
I think
if you call them out and go, that's plainly not true, and they just go, well, that's your opinion.
Because one of the biggest issues around that case at the time was we weren't telling people because we were trying to hide the fact he was an Islamist and all of this. Do you know what I mean? So you take that barrel out of the chamber, in my opinion, by being open about it.
But then my opinion is, we proved that even when we did tell people the situation, and even now it's coming out now, the core group of people that turned it violent, that turned it into the riots, they still believe it doesn't matter. They're not looking. They're not taking in the truth. So it doesn't matter what we tell them.
I feel like you rate. I think you less risk chance of violence. Like, they might still be violent. They might still.
You risk interfering with the trial.
I don't know if I agree with that. As long as you're not giving away their identity, I don't know. Why would they be interfering with the trial?
Because if it was basic, I think prosecution and defence might be basing their arguments on ideology versus violent nature. And therefore, by throwing it out there and getting public conversation going about it, it's going to sway the events in the courtroom. It could. Wasn't it will?
I just feel like we're at a stage in the country that you're potentially risking more violence by hiding the information.
I just think as well.
Because I agree with you. I think we are in a position where it doesn't actually matter. Like, we know there's white British grooming gangs out there perpetrating exactly the same crimes as men from Muslim backgrounds are in certain areas.
The stats show us that if someone...
people don't care about that. They care about the Islamists that are doing it.
Because they want to talk about grooming gangs. So forget individual cases.
Yeah.
The stats show us that the likelihood, if someone's been arrested in connection with a grooming gang in this country in the last 20, 30 years, the statistical likelihood is that they are white.
Yeah.
That's...
I agree with you. I don't need to...
But it doesn't change people's opinion. So that's my argument on it, is twofold. One, I don't think it changes the right people's opinion.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people in the middle that will go, oh, okay, fair enough. But they're not the ones who were making it violent. They're not the ones that were at the protests. They're the ones that were reading about the protests.
I don't know. It's that old saying of, like, sunlight is the best disinfectant.
True, but then I think what happens then is when you open up... to continue on your analogy, if there's a dark room and you open up the windows, for various reasons, there's going to be some parts of the room that you cannot light up. There's going to be some cases where their ideological beliefs or whatever are actually key to the trial, and they won't be able to release them. And as soon as you don't, woof, that's going to fan the flame. So if you open the windows and you light up the room, all them little crevices at the side that can't be lit, even though it's a small minority, they're the ones that everyone's going to be like, why aren't they? They're not telling us because they tell us all that. So why aren't they? It's because, and I think it's just going to make it even worse.
Yeah, but I think those, as you've argued, those people will find
they'll do it anyway.
issue regardless.
They'll do it anyway.
So I don't think
it almost doesn't matter what we decide.
100%. I don't think there is a right or wrong answer. Like, I just think in general, like, because they say shit like, we don't collect the ethnicity information on the people perpetrating these crimes. I find that hard to believe, but I just think in general we should release all that information, not like just so that we can go, you're wrong. Do you know what I mean?
I understand.
And then if people are still going, no, the fucking Muslims coming here, they're the problems, they're the one raping our women, go, well, actually, some are. But the vast majority aren't, and the vast majority of people that are doing it, people that look like us. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then that way, because in my opinion, you are then, if I'm James O'Brien and I'm on the radio and I've just given someone that information and they still go, no, it's the Muslims that are a problem, I can go to him, you're a racist. And that's it. Like, they still won't change their opinion. We know they won't. They're still going to think them. But
is the way to bring these, to use your own argument against you, is the way to bring them round by calling them out in such a direct and attacking way?
Probably not. But when they're being violent, I don't know. As you just said, I don't know if we can bring everyone round. I think, as you said, the right people will be swayed by the information, and the wrong people won't. So
it's almost a moot. It's almost a moot point.
Yeah,
a moot point. Because it doesn't.
It's a moot discussion.
Ultimately, like a cow's opinion.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter, because genuinely, like, whether you release the information or don't, there's a certain group of people that are at risk of turning a situation violent.
Yeah.
Who will believe it anyway.
Regardless,
if you don't reveal the information, it's all conspiratorial.
Well, it's confirmation bias,
if they do release it, they'll go, well, that's wrong.
They're lying. They're still covering it up. That person wasn't there more.
You know, the Axel Rodabana, or whatever his name is. Oh, he read
because he read the Quran.
He read
he's automatically a Muslim and an
Muslim, and he read there was a text. It was like an extremist text online that he'd found, and it was like, well, it's clearly, it's like, no, but
it's the graphicness of
there's
it all.
There's loads of other non-Muslim related violent text. You know,
he read that one.
So it doesn't matter.
No, I know
it doesn't matter.
But in general, I tend to think like, if there, like, because for me, if there is an issue with certain men from certain backgrounds, that when they get together, they start perpetrating certain crimes, we need to know what's causing that. And I'm of the opinion, like with the Axel Rudabakana thing, I think I advocated at the time, I want us to study him, have him in counselling. I want to understand what caused that young man to turn into a monster. Do you know what I mean? I want to be able to prevent this ever happening again, and the only way you can do that is by having all the information. So I think fundamentally why I'm against the covering up of these things. And I think you're right, in certain situations you won't be able to share it, and that will feed the flames.
No, like I said, I fully understand the arguments for releasing it.
Yeah. So that's where we are. That's where we are. Guys, let us know what you think. Do you think we should release the information?
Or have a Patreon.
Yeah.
All these questions are open, and you can email us CrossingSwords19@gmail.com. You can hit us up CrossingSwords19 at gmail.com. I fucked it up, so I just had to go with it. You can hit us CrossingSwords_podcast on TikTok, on Instagram, exactly the same handle, @SwordsCrossing on Twitter.
Bang.
Go into the follow wherever you're listening to this, click a link below, follow YouTube, ask away in the comments, answer away in the comments.
Yeah.
Do it, man.
Tell us if
do it, you cowards.
Speaking of dirty, filthy wrong-uns, there's been a man under attack while you've been away.
Is it a white man?
It is a white man.
I mean, we are the victims.
We've got to back this man up, I feel. There's been a lot of discussion about this guy. I want to say before we get started, I really like him. In everything I ever see him in, I tend to really like him. Every interview I ever see of him, I really like him.
I was saying, until you got to that bit, I genuinely forgot. I suddenly remembered that you'd said beforehand what you wanted to chat about. I genuinely forgot.
In the interests of transparency, he is a bit handsy.
So listen, as a man who's come under fire for your own handsiness,
I got a serious case of the wandering hand.
Wandering hands.
It's Pedro Pascal.
Yes, the man who slaved away in Hollywood for years before getting what I would consider to be not his breakthrough role, but his breakout role, if that makes, that stopped him from being a bit-time actor to being a real star that people wanted to say. I would say Game of Thrones.
I would agree with you. As Oberyn Martell.
And suddenly
one of the best characters in the entire show, actually, in my opinion.
He was a bit of a bankable star. Maybe not the A-lister at the time, but it was like, we can get this guy in our movies now.
And I think Narcos is probably the other one, I think, that made him more recognisable as well.
And then I would say from there, obviously, like...
He's just gone stratospheric,
strength to strength with The Last of Us and with Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason why we're talking about him, the promotion for the Fantastic Four.
Well, because he's everywhere.
Yeah, and Vanessa Kirby, who plays Sue Richards.
Yeah.
Can I just say, by the way, because I've seen the Fantastic Four.
Is it good?
It is good.
Nice.
I think that's probably one of the best interpretations of the characters.
Really?
And also, it's the best Galactus we've ever seen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because I do want to see it.
Yeah, it's good. I really recommend it. And I love this thing as well.
I did love the ones from when we were younger, by the way.
Yeah, I liked them too.
I loved everyone. I mean, Jessica Alba when I was a teenager. Like, you're onto a winner immediately.
But yeah, this is really well done. Really love the characters.
Because I've heard people criticising it's the worst version of Reed Richards.
No, I really like this version of Reed Richards.
I'm interested. I'm genuinely interested.
There's like a conversation that I think sums up this version really well. In this where he's obviously mourning the fact that he couldn't save his family from getting the mutations and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's talking to Ben, and Ben's like, "Look, man, who could have known that was going to happen?" And he's like, "Me." He said, "No one's that smart." He said, "I am. I am that smart."
Yeah.
And it's like that arrogance, but then immediately Ben claps back at him. He's like, "Can you cook?" And he's like, "Well, that must more of an art than a science." He's like, it's just like like this man is the smartest man in the world, but he can't do anything.
But is Pedro Pascal wrong, and Jake? That's the question we're here to answer.
No, it's about consent and comfort. Ultimately, women feel comfortable around him because he, from what I can tell, from what I hear, he's a nice guy. He doesn't get handsy unless, like, most of the touching in the interviews and stuff has been initiated
by the female co-star,
by other people. Yeah. And then he just responds.
What I loved was I saw a video criticising him, and one of the things in like the caption was like, "You never see him doing this with male colleagues," and then the first comment was someone with a compilation
of him doing it with male colleagues,
equally as touchy-feely with men.
Here's my thing: I genuinely think I think the backlash comes from men who haven't quite got their heads around the fact that they're not good with women, and I think they can't comprehend the fact that women might actually want to touch a man, and even in a platonic way.
Yeah.
But they might feel comfortable enough to touch a man.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot of the backlash is coming from men who can't understand that. Do you think he's a wrong one?
No, I don't. I mean, we discussed it while you were away, and I tend to agree with you. I think he's just a nice bloke. I think he does genuinely suffer from anxiety. Like, people seem to think just because he's famous, that can't be possible.
If anything, it's going to be worse.
100%, because everything's heightened, everything's more extreme. He's in front of crowds of people all the time. And there's the famous one where he's literally stood, I think, slightly beside and behind Vanessa Kirby, and he sort of just brushes her hand. And she knows immediately
he wants comfort. He needs comforting.
And she just holds his hand, and he immediately you just see him just sort of
relax a little.
Oh, thank fuck for that! Like, so I don't think it's fake at all.
No.
And I think also he suffers because he is
I never even
attractive
considered that fake. Yeah,
and charismatic. People are like, well, someone like that can't be. They can't suffer from anxiety. That's just not possible.
Also, people see that and they're like, he's got to be sexually. And that's the other thing as well. They can't, not just from the women's perspective. I think these men can't understand that men can have platonic friendships with
and not
like
100%, not constantly sexualize a woman
like they're
that's
like,
in front of them.
especially with someone who's like Vanessa Kirby, who's incredibly attractive, and they're like, obviously he fancies her, and it's like, look, he might agree that but they're just friends.
Yeah, she's also married and I believe pregnant at the moment,
like they're
isn't
just
she?
friends. And it's these men that like, but that there's got to be something. No, there hasn't.
No, but then the thing is, I think the men that feel that way, it's because every woman they ever get close to, they end up feeling some sort of way sexually about.
Yeah,
so
probably.
that they then can't put themselves in the mindset of, what do you mean you'd spend a lot of time with a woman and become really close with them and not want to fuck them?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
And the thing is, for me, I've always been, as you know, someone who has always been quite touchy-feely, and not just with women, always with my male friends as well. I'm just a very tactile person, so I can relate.
Just to compound this, you were once attacked by a friend for
Yes.
being too handsy and flirty with their partner.
Yeah.
And in the same period, you were nearly kicked out of a bar for being too gay. For acting too gay with her. It's very homophobic when you say it out loud. But
A bouncer actually came over to us and was like, lads, what the fuck is going on here?
so that was in the same sort of spell of your life. That was in the same sort of
No,
period.
it was. And I remember being really hurt when that friend did that, because one, it was the way they did it. They did it, and I felt like they did it in a way to try and hurt me when they said it.
Yeah, I think they did.
And I've always been of the opinion, and I think it says a lot about men that we're not comfortable enough to do this. If any of those friends, because it wasn't just him that apparently that felt uncomfortable, it was most of our male friends that had girlfriends felt like I was being over the top or too much, despite the fact, as you said, I was equally the same with the men. And I've got to be honest with you, it massively changed the way I dealt with our female friends going forward.
But again, I'm adding youth into the equation here. But is it those friends of ours, and this isn't so much criticism, like I said, because we were young and stuff, and we were still figuring out.
They might not have been
were
emotionally
they
mature enough to have that discussion.
Yeah, were they thinking exactly like we were saying about these critics of Pedro Pascal?
Oh,
Were they
he's just
thinking, well,
being
there's
a
no
creep,
way a man can be that friendly with a woman without wanting something, particularly when you're like a horny 19-year-old.
No, totally. And like, for example, if I used our friend Mia, for instance, I've known Mia since she was, I think, 14 now. So I'm
It's
really
a bit creepy, that, mate.
But I was
That's
15, I
bit
think,
weird,
when I met her.
you still friends with a 14-year-old.
But I've known her for so long that, like, I see Mia as like one of the blokes. Or like, that's the way I've always been. I think that was the way my dad always said. Like,
She's
treat
very
the women
insistent on
as you
coming on the
would.
stag do's.
Is she actually?
Yeah.
That doesn't shock me at all. And you know what? I wouldn't necessarily be against it at all, because Lindsay's invited, because she's one. Do you know, like, one of my best friends is a woman. Oh, that sounds like I'm covering something up.
I'm glad you heard it.
No, but it does when you say stuff. But genuinely, like I love
You
women.
really need to hit the
I
trifecta.
love men and women.
You need to get a best friend who is a gay black woman just to knock them all out
I'm
the
not
park.
against it. I'm not against it. I reckon she'd be a laugh. I don't even know who she is yet.
Just literally every time you see a black woman, just go up and be like, "Are you a lesbian? Do you want to be friends?"
Yeah.
And just initiate that.
I mean, she doesn't. I don't want to discriminate against the black women that aren't lesbians. Do you know what I mean?
No, but they're not as powerful.
They're not
and
backing
if
me up
something
as
goes
much.
wrong, if there's an accusation or a scandal, it's not as powerful.
If I'm seen
to
as
have
being homophobic,
one
I
of your
can't
best
point to
friends.
my gay lesbian.
You need to be able to say some of my best friends are gay, some of my best friends are women, some of my best friends are black. If you can get just one person who covers all three, that's the golden trifecta.
Yeah, but no, like I think it's a shame people see Pedro Pascal that way. Just as I felt it was a shame at the time that I was seeing that way.
Did you? Yeah. Did the stories hit home a little more because of your experiences in that area?
Only in the sense that it made me remember it, like, because I hadn't thought about it for a long time.
Because you were platonically flirtatious.
Yeah, but with everyone. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying it as an accusation at all. But and then
yeah,
you're
no,
seeing...
it totally did. And like I said, I actually thought about the other day, it negatively affected the effort I made with my female friends afterwards as well, because I did...
You didn't want to step on anyone's toes?
No, and I felt like, even with Mia, for example, and I don't necessarily think this now, because Dave's a good bloke, and I don't think he's that sort of bloke, but when I was younger, it definitely made me think twice if I was going to text them or contact them, and I certainly wouldn't have asked to meet up with them on my own
also now,
or anything like that.
Now you're mature, you're emotionally mature enough, I think, to be able to tell that, oh, actually, I think a lot of this criticism is coming from your male ego and your male understanding of the world. But at the time, I'm guessing, and feel free to correct me, but I'm sure there was a part of you that thought, if they're saying it, does that mean the girls are feeling it? Like, it must be a thing that they're feeling it.
Yeah, and that is 100% why I backed off, because I thought I'm obviously making people feel uncomfortable.
And they're too scared to say it.
Yeah, and I think because of the aggression in the way it was delivered, I was like, it must be something that's not just talked about occasionally.
So seeing a male celebrity come under criticism for a similar thing must have hit home for you a little bit. Must have been a bit close.
Not emotionally, but I would be honest, it hasn't hit me emotionally, because I think I'm past that now. I think if it had happened maybe closer to the time, maybe, but it definitely.
But you were probably able to relate to it more.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, no, I just think he's a flirty bloke who has a laugh and enjoys being around people. I did hear a gay guy on a podcast I listened to actually say he just thinks Pedro Pascal's gay.
Interesting.
He's like, that's the vibe I get. He said, I think he's one of those good-looking action stars that it's not great for his image to be
not
a gay
great for his
man
career if he came out
if he's
gay.
openly gay. So but everyone knows he's gay, but they just don't talk about it, because he doesn't ever want to settle down, from what I understand, doesn't want to have children. It doesn't make him gay immediately, by the way, but that sort of lends to the theory. So that's one thing. I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but that's what I've heard.
And that's fair enough.
But yeah, no, I think Pedro Pascal's just a nice bloke.
Agreed. I think we're all agreed.
Yeah.
We talk about something that's quite close to my heart.
Go for it.
Quite literally close to my heart.
For those listening, Jake is currently wearing a Traitors shirt.
Yes, baby.
Talk to me.
Yeah, boy.
For my birthday,
Yeah.
Steph bought us tickets to the Traitors live experience. Now, I should say that it was just in its trial phases, and it got moved. So she'd initially booked it for one date in July, and then it got pushed. We didn't know when it was getting pushed back to at first, and it was like, well, fuck, I go away at the end. Oh, sorry, June. It was in June.
Yeah.
No, was it June? Oh, fuck no.
I feel like you've done it more recently.
Yeah, so it must have been July. And it was like, yeah, because I went away on the Sunday on the 27th, and I went and did the experience on the Saturday on the 26th, literally the night before. But we entered the game as faithful. We completed the game as faithful, and we fucking won it.
Yeah.
Boy! Because...
Yeah, boy. Go on.
Sometimes my genius is... It's almost frightening.
Was your missus a part of this at all, or was it just your
and she
genius?
was. What I really like is that she was really nervous, because her anxiety is like, she was like, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this. So she was like, I'm going for you. But once we were there, she really relaxed into it. And when you checked her like Fitbit data, the last 5 minutes she had like a massive spike in heart rate and stuff when we came to the reveal at the end. For me, apparently I was so excited. I had 178 minutes of zone minutes. I was just fucking bumping all over.
You were
the place.
burning calories the entire time.
So we were at the bar beforehand, and we met these 4 gay guys who were a part of our game. So you go in, you get assigned an animal. That's your group, your team. Maximum of 14. We had 12. So there was us 2, this 4, and then another 6 turned up late, which ended up coming back to bite one of the guys later on in the thing, because he'd made a comment where one of them was like, He'd said something, and this guy just went, "No, we were just on time, actually." And that was like, that's it. They just gunned for him after that. They were like, "Fuck you!" Everyone laughed. Everyone laughed. No,
Oh, no.
everyone laughed, but they were like, "All right, fuck you."
Do you know what? I'd vote someone out for being late.
I've got to say, so you go down into the room. There's an actor there playing the host.
Yeah, so the Claudia Winkleman.
Claudia Winkleman. He dressed like the what's the Alan Cumming from the American version, but he played it very much like Claudia Winkleman. And then you do challenges so you put on blindfolds, you sit around the table, and he comes around and he picks 3 traitors. Before you go in, you can, as you sign your name into the thing, you can click a button that says, "I do not want to be a traitor."
Okay.
And Steph was like, she said from day one, she's like, "I'm fucking hitting that." She's like, "My anxiety."
I can't cope.
And then we did introductions first, sorry. And Steph was like, "Tell us why you want or don't want to be a traitor." And Steph was like, "Well, I laugh, I can't fucking lie." She's like, it's not in me, and my anxiety can't handle it. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a traitor. I forget
That's
it.
a good way to play it.
And
not
there was
press
a bit at the
button.
end where I was like, has she been playing the fucking long game? I was like, did she put this thought in my head months ago?
Yeah. That would have. Do you know what? I'd have given her so much
If
props
she did.
If she fucked you right at the
But
end.
then I
and
was like, there was that little voice, but then I was like, no, I know her anxiety can't take. I know she's actually has pushed
She's
that button.
being
I
genuine.
know. And we went round, and these 2 of the guys introduced. They were all like fucking. I swear to God, we think they're swingers. This other group, but one of them introduced himself. And
Well,
he was
just
like,
because they're gay, they're automatic.
no, not the gay guys. This other group.
Fair enough.
And one of them,
I assumed it was the
one of
gays.
them, that's on you. One of them introduced himself as, he's like, "Oh, I work for the Daily Mail," and everyone was like, all his friends were like, "But why would you say that? Because
Yeah,
even if you
just
get
lie.
through, no one's gonna fucking trust you."
No.
And we were like, "Correct. You're the first person I'm gunning for."
Yeah.
Another one was like,
They're more the scum I'd have immediately
another one was like,
gone for 'em.
my name's John." No, it's not really. It's Matt. We were like, "That's fucking questionable behaviour." So he
For
was
me,
the first one to go.
That's like that silly bitch that went in and was like, "I'm going to do a Welsh accent for no reason
Oh yeah,
whatsoever."
we did have a Linda moment in our game, because one of the traitors, his wife was murdered,
Okay.
and he went, "I'm going to call her Linda for the sake of this, because that's the only name I can think of." And he just went, "Who the hell's Linda? What's happened to her?" And it was like, "Mate, hey, bro." So you get blindfolds.
Was it like a varying of ages that went to
Yeah, it
or-
really was. So you get the blindfold. He goes around, chooses his
Was it
traitors.
uptown?
Yeah, it was. It was just off Leicester Square, kind of way.
Okay.
Covent Garden, actually. But yeah.
I was in Covent Garden yesterday.
Yeah. Yes, you were celebrating the good Leanne's
Eating
birthday.
barbecue.
Happy birthday, Leanne.
Yeah, at the time of recording, it was her birthday, so happy birthday, gorgeous.
And then you do a challenge, try and win gold. And then it's night time, so you put your blindfolds back on. The traitors take their blindfolds off, and I'm informed through a series of points they agree
vote
who they're
someone out.
gonna murder.
Oh, so you don't get to discuss it.
No, and then you put then obviously you do a banishment as well. The first banishment, I was like, oh, this is going to change how I watch the show, because when he stood up, and we voted for the bloke who gave us the fake name.
Yeah.
It's because he spoke first at the round table. The first round table we did, he spoke first, and everyone was like, "Nah, that's sus. That's sus."
That's
And then-
the problem with the traitors, though, isn't it?
And then the next round table, we all sat there in silence before someone went, "Everyone's too scared to speak first, aren't they?" And we were like, "Yes." And then we kind of got into it. But when he stood up and he was a faithful, I was like, "Fucking, this is brutal." I was like, "I've just kicked someone out of the game,"
And he's paid to be.
and I'm like, "Fuck, this is harsh." And then I was a bit reserved, and then as the game went on, I got very vocal.
Yeah.
And so at the end, that came back to bite us a little bit. Obviously, we ended up winning. The ones who were kicked out, after a certain stage, they were in another room watching. So they were watching the game the whole time, and they were part of the task. We had to get clues from beyond the grave. But the problem is they were all getting drinks, and as the murdered people were coming in, or the banished people were coming into the room, they were all greeting each other. And the barman was like, "Do you want a drink, or whatever?" And this guy who'd been banished from the gays who we kind of attached ourselves to,
Yeah.
he was like, "I do, but not right fucking now." He's like, "I'm trying to fucking help the fucking team. Can you fuck off?" And they didn't help us at all.
Yeah.
But not by his doing. The woman next to me as well. So there was a round where you had to try and push your button closest to 1 minute 40, but the team who pushed it the earliest, so like if you got it within 10 seconds, you can't go over.
Yeah.
You got it within 10 seconds, you added 10 grand to the prize pot. If you got it within 20 seconds, you added 30, and if you got it 30 seconds, or you get
Yeah,
nothing. But the first team to press their button got a shield. And I'm counting, and the woman next to me taps me on the leg, and I was like, I'm a bit short, because she was like, let's go a bit short and get the shield, and I was like, nah. So I thought she was tapping me to say push the button, and I was like, yeah, no, fair enough, this is about now. And then she reached over and handed me a shield, and so I'm scrambling to put it in my pocket before the thing comes back on.
Yeah.
I've got to give a shout out to Steph, by the way, who pushed the button 1 second over.
Oh no.
Literally just too late to claim anything.
Yeah.
Like, oh, babe. Shocking.
Well done for winning though.
As we went round early as well, they went, right, push the light, it hovers over you.
Did you push the button to not be a traitor?
No.
Okay.
The light hovers over you and it says, push, right, vote for who you think is the least trustful. And Steph was one of the least trustful, and she was like, fucking why me? But then at the end...
I've met her, I understand.
The task that really got us, that for me, was there was one traitor who legitimately would have won it.
Okay.
He was that good. He was undetected. And what got him was, we did a challenge where we went into another room. They showed us things on like positions on the screen. So we had all these props, and they were like, you have to match the image. We're going to flash it up for like 10 seconds or whatever, and then you have to stand in that order holding the things. So there might be 4 people, 3 people.
And sabotage it?
No, they said you get £200 for every correct item that is in the right order.
Yeah.
And there's 2 cloaks up, and the cloaks are sometimes part of the picture. They said, and you'll get an extra £1,000 every time a traitor wears a cloak.
Oh no, so because he was wearing the cloak.
No, when we came back into the room, 2 people didn't wear a cloak. I was like, I'm fucking wearing that cloak. I was like, give me that bad boy. 2 people didn't wear a cloak. And when he said, congratulations, you've added this much to the prize pot, as soon as it got to the round table, I went, guys, I said £200 per item. We got every single item correct, and that's the amount he said. So it means a traitor did not wear the cloak, which means one of these 2 is a traitor.
Oh shit.
And
Quite
I was
clever.
like, to be safe, the only way we can safely finish the game, I think it's him, because I was like, it has to be someone from their group. But I was like, the only way we can be safe is by getting rid of both of them. But then everyone was like, you're too vocal. So even though once we got rid of both of them, there was 4 of us left.
Yeah.
And I was like, I said it.
Did they then? So were they both the traitors?
Who?
The 2 people you voted out?
No, one of them was.
Right,
the one I
okay.
thought.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it's got to be. But he would have got away with it. 100% he would have got away with it if it weren't
if it
for the
wasn't for
maths.
that one.
But then you go round the table and you've got 2 little buttons, and you press left to continue, or whatever, left to, just like in the show, left to end the game
Yeah.
and right to keep voting. And as soon as it got down to the last 4, I just sort of said, guys, I've made my peace. I knew it had to be one of them. And they stay at the table at this point. The last 6 of you stay at the table.
Yeah.
But they don't reveal themselves, just like the show. They don't reveal what they are. And I was like, guys, you know my theory. One of them has to be. So I'm happy to end the game. I was like, let's do it. Steph ended the game. And then both these other 2 were like, nah, let's play on. And even though they were both gunning for me, one of them decided to put someone else's name.
Right.
So he got voted out. And then it was 3 of us left, me, Steph, and this dude. And apparently all his friends, because he was in like the big group that were with us, all his friends were in the room watching, screaming at him, why the fuck are you voting against the couple?
Yeah.
Obviously they're going to stick together.
Yeah.
Because as he did it and he voted to play on, it was like, well,
we're just going to vote you out.
okay. Because then as we were going around, and I was like, look, I've already said I don't think any of us here are traitors.
Yeah.
I said, but she'll fucking kill me if I vote for her. So I was like, I don't think either of you are traitors, but like, it's Matt, I'm voting for you.
Yeah,
and Steph was
yeah.
like, well, yeah, I'm not going to
Vote for him.
So even though I also think we're faithful, Matt, and he just genuinely, he went, oh, fucked it, haven't I?
Yeah.
Like literally at the table, he's like, oh, I've been a fucking idiot.
Whereas, did it turn out he was a traitor?
No, he was faithful. He was faithful. But the dude who was a traitor who would have got away with it. So when you're paired up for a couple of games, he was Steph's buddy. And when he turned out at the end, because me and Steph were like faithful, and that's where Steph's heart rate boomed. And then you go around the table and you reveal what all the other players were.
Yeah.
Because again, he won't reveal himself till we've finished the game.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, faithful. And this Fraser was a traitor. And Steph felt so betrayed because she was like, but you were my buddy. And he said, apparently he told her, he said, when it was just me left, he said, if they gave me the chance to recruit, I was going to recruit you.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm fucking glad you didn't, because I wouldn't have been able to deal with that. But
I would have rated it so much
if Steph had played the long game.
Well, no, if she'd have in the moment voted you out with that other guy.
Mate, could you imagine?
That would have been. I'd have fucking loved it. I'd have had so much respect for her.
But Steph was saying,
because the betrayal in your eyes would have been like, is she a traitor?
Steph was saying as well, where she was like, I get it. She's like, you watch the show and you're like, it's ridiculous. And when you appreciate it's a bit
when
intense
you're
and
in the
stuff,
heat
she's
of it.
like, I've known this man for 2 hours.
And I felt betrayed.
And I felt utterly betrayed finding out he was a traitor. And I was like,
Yeah.
you made a classic traitor's error there as well. You buddied up with the traitor.
Yeah.
And apparently when the bloke had gone like, where's Linda? Where's my wife? Kind of thing. Apparently Steph leaned into Fraser and whispered to him and went, Dave's a traitor. And I was like, babe, you've literally just confided in a fucking traitor. She's like, I know. I felt so betrayed.
Yeah.
It was him. But I actually really recommend it. It's done really well.
Yeah.
Because it was so early and stuff, it took a little bit longer than it should have.
Yeah.
How
long did it take?
It's meant to be 2 hours. I think we were in there about 3
Okay.
all in, or it's meant to be 2.25 or something.
Yeah.
And you're meant to be able to have drinks in there, but they didn't have the cup holders in place, so you don't want to fuck
Right,
the table
okay.
up,
Yeah, yeah.
because that's integral to the game. I got a good early laugh as well when I busted out 2 Traitors classics. When I went such and such, I'm voting for yourself, and then I've misspelt the name on the Traitors board. It's like, that's good tick. The problem with the only downside is it's not so much for a murderer, because you're meant to be silent, but you can hear them leaving when they leave the room overnight. There was a great moment, by the way, where I was like, I was convinced I was going to get murdered. And I was like, if I make it through the night, I'm going to tell everyone why this guy's a traitor, 'cause in my mind, it's this guy. And then when I pulled my blind up and he was murdered, and I was like, well, fuck. And then suddenly you're in a vote, and I'm like, I don't know who to fucking vote for, because I was absolutely convinced
Dead
it was this guy.
him. Yeah.
But the woman next to me, who was a traitor, who gave me the shield and stuff, again, there was a bit of tactical play, because I was like, quite early on, I was like, well, she's a traitor.
And she was trying to win you
But I was
over by
like-
giving you the shield.
But is she keeping me in the game? Is the reason I've not
She's
been
buttering
murdered at
you
night?
up.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I can face the banishments. That I can't help. That's me on my own.
Yeah.
But it's like, is she the reason that I'm not getting murdered? So do I want to get rid of... You know what I mean? There's all that stuff going on.
Yeah. The thing is, we've discussed it before. When you watch the Traitors, it's very easy to go like, I'd do this. I was very bullish about how I'd
You
be
were
on it.
very bullish.
But you would second guess absolutely everything, because you've got nothing but time to sit
And it's the biggest thing about Traitors, one of the biggest things, having played the experience, it's the timing of it, man. Even if you're certain that someone's a traitor, you can't gun for them unless you've got enough people on side. Because if you don't have the
it will
backing,
turn back on you.
it's going to come back to you.
Yeah. So
And like
it's a
Karina,
very-
I could hear her moving her mask. She was not quiet when she lifted her blindfold up during the traitorous nights.
Yeah.
And so both me and
I
this
feel
girl
like
next to her were like,
That's probably a flaw. They should have ear defenders for everyone.
yeah, that
so
would maybe be a bit of
you
feedback.
all put them on with the blindfold, and then they can take theirs off. And
Yeah. But
and
we
you
were
then-
just, because me and this girl on the other side were
because
like,
you would hear people rustling and
But it was really, really fun. And I think the biggest testament was that Steph, with all of her anxiety, because
managed to
that's
get
like,
to the final.
that's her anxiety in a nutshell, like new social people, having to lie in a, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Is just,
I would love to see how I got on in that as a traitor. Do you
I
know
would
what
love to go back and do a whole table with people I know.
Oh, I like the
if you
idea
could
of
get
that.
12 to 14 people that you knew
Yeah.
well or relatively well, that would be different.
Yeah.
Because then you can be like, you've changed. Do you know what I mean? Like and I don't think there's that social awkwardness that there is between strangers at the start.
The thing is, I think it'd be over very quickly.
Yeah, there's that danger.
I think, like, if it was our group, like, we would get very loud, very boisterous, and, like, I think Dave would be gone immediately. I don't think he makes it
You wouldn't
past
trust him. You just
round
wouldn't
one.
trust him.
But then saying that, I think I'd probably want to get rid of Mia first thing as well. She's got a...
I'd want to get rid of you, knowing what you said.
No, look, you know me. I'm very hyperbolic. I'm a good team player. That's what you got to remember.
And that's what I tried to do. I tried to be a good team player to earn things. If you win enough money, gold, you do enter a monthly prize pot
To win something.
to win real world prizes.
Nice.
But we didn't earn nearly enough.
Oh, fair.
And obviously you split the prize between the two winners.
That's fair.
So the faithful, the traitors naturally have more money.
Yeah.
because it's usually just one that's won it.
Do you get anything for winning?
No, we didn't get fuck all. But that was because it was trial phases as well.
I feel
I
like you
think
could get a small, tiny little
Yeah.
plastic.
we got a
Won
message.
Traitors.
We got a message on the board from Claudia Winkleman, but ultimately it was pre-recorded, and
That'd be
everyone in
for
the room,
everyone.
everyone in the room also saw it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really.
As you said, it might be something that they improve as it goes
But then I
on.
bought this T-shirt to commemorate the win.
Yeah. No, I like
hot on
it.
as well.
Mm.
But yeah, no, really good experience. And the fact we won, the woman as well, when we were buying the T-shirt, she's like, "How'd you get on?" And we were like, "Listen, we won." We were like, "There's our names on the board." And she was like, talking to us a bit more, and she was like, "Well, hang on, you were faithful." We were like, "Yeah." And she was like, "And you, this is your first time playing?"
Yeah.
We were like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Well,
Impressive.
that is impressive." And we were like, "Well, yeah, actually, thank you." It was really just that Matt who just shot himself in the foot by voting for a couple.
I think, to be honest, that would probably be how most people end up failing. It's because of a slip up rather than great detective work.
Absolutely.
But as I've seen from the one series I've watched, it like every time it was a slip up rather than, I mean, like the famous Linda.
It's the
moment.
most iconic moment, I would say, in TV.
I remember the first time I was like, "What the fuck is she doing?" Like,
Traitors. It's like a meerkat call and response.
dickhead. Do you know what I mean? It's like you've got like, why did you enter this? If
And
that's
then-
what you're coming with.
And then the less iconic but equally entertaining, who the hell is going to come through that door? But the thing is, at the start, they were all like, "Oh, I think it's Linda." But then after spending a week with her, they were like, "No, I think Linda's just a bit of a klutzy dick." Like, I just think that's who she is
She's
as a
just
person.
shit.
Yeah, I don't think she's clever enough to be a traitor.
And she wasn't.
My
She
favourite,
absolutely wasn't.
one
but
of my
she was.
favourites from that series, by the way, was her name Armani?
Yes.
Telling the other two, "You need to up your fucking game," and it's like, you're on the verge of being caught.
You've
Like,
got yourself kicked out.
you're
and she
literally-
did. She got caught out immediately.
You're literally about to be kicked out,
Yeah.
and you're telling us,
To up our games.
like, you got fucking nerve. But the Traitors experience, really good fun, and it's also made me reassess and maybe say, "Oh, I'd like to do the Taskmaster experience as well." I think I had a lot of fun doing the Traitors one, and it's for Steph. I think the reason she booked it is because I will famously watch things and go, "I want to do that,"
Yeah.
and then start telling everyone how and why I do. We all do it.
But it gave you
But
a chance
I'll
to
do
actually.
it. She literally, I think for her it was like, put your money where your mouth is.
And show me what you
You
got.
talk a big fucking game.
I would have preferred to hear how you got on as a traitor. I can't
Yeah,
lie. Just to
that'd
hear
be good.
how far you got, whether you won it. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know whether it had changed me as a traitor.
I've been, like I said,
Yeah, I
it'd be
don't know.
interesting to know.
And the beauty of it, if we did it as like a bunch of friends, is that like one of us would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would know.
And
Yeah, anyway,
it'd be
it was
interesting to
fun.
know if that then affected the dynamic.
And
But
then I
no,
think-
I'm absolutely. I like the idea of
People
even if
know.
you don't get the full amount, a group of us.
It also, I think,
going,
helps with anyone who's got social anxiety. It makes it a little bit easier to do something like that.
Yeah,
If
that would
it's-
make
if
it
it's all
easier for
people we
me
know.
because I have social
Yeah.
anxiety.
So if it's all people we know,
But I think also with something like that, because it's a game, I would feel less anxious about it rather than
You've got something
an
to focus
actual
on. You've got
social
a competitive.
just meeting up with random people.
But yeah, no, I've got to say, and then afterwards I was sort of like, I put my money where my mouth is, and I came up trumps. So now I've got to do the Taskmaster experience and show you how that's done.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I would love to be on the actual
Oh
Taskmaster.
god, like so much
I'd
more
do it
than
in a
anything.
heartbeat. Like if this became successful, that would be the aim.
That would be the get on
to
Taskmaster.
get us on Taskmaster, and I would be fucking fuming if you got on it before me. I'd be absolutely.
I think
fuming.
it would be good to have us on, even if we just did like the New Year special, and we
Yeah.
just did 2
I want to
episodes.
be on a full season, Jay.
Yeah, well, obviously I want to be in a full season,
Do
but
you know what
even
I
just
mean?
to experience it, and if we could go on together,
Yeah.
because I know for a fact
Maybe we're the first double act ever on
You'd
Taskmaster.
you do exactly the same as I do, which is when it comes to a task, you try and talk down the other one. You try and get points off of them. And I got to be honest, I think I do that to you.
I mean, if you had my favourite ever Taskmaster moment, probably has to be Joe Wilkinson and the potato.
The hole in one.
Honestly, because it's so genuine. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, and for anyone who hasn't watched it, YouTube it, Joe Wilkinson
Heartbreaking.
Taskmaster, and it will come up. And the task is throw a potato into this hole, basically.
They've got a
But
bit.
you can't touch the red green that surrounds it.
Yeah, so the green meaning the golf green, they've got red
Yeah.
felt circled around
Yeah.
it with a little flag in a hole.
And then like get the potato in the hole, can't touch the red green.
And obviously
Go
the
for
the
it.
trick is everyone's going to want to throw it, But then, how do you get the potato back?
100%.
It's in the middle of
Without
and you
touching
can't
it.
touch it. So you got to try and improvise something.
And they tell him the time starts, and he hesitates for a few seconds. He's like, "What? But I can't."
Yeah,
'Cause of the
fastest wins.
And then he's like, "Fuck it," and just throws it. It goes straight in the hole, and like the whole
Cuts the studio.
The studio erupts. He's on his feet, arms in the air. It's the best moment,
lauding it up,
of his life. And they're like, "That was so good. We've got to watch it again." And it's beautiful.
And with every take,
television
they zoom in
to his foot, just ever so slightly.
and it is millimeters.
It's literally like less than an inch. His foot is on the red.
It's like, do you know that little bit at the end of your shoe where your toes aren't actually?
Yeah.
Like that's shoe. That's no toe.
No.
That's just the tip of the shoe that's touching that green.
Rules are rules.
And then he says, "We're going to throw it over to."
And
your
he
fellow
literally, but before that
contestants."
happens, he drops to his knees in front of Craig Taylor.
Please don't take this away
Please
from
don't
me.
take this from me. And they send him out the room so the other contestants can discuss what they want to do.
And the thing is, even us telling you, it doesn't detract from it, in my opinion.
No,
It's
you will
still-
enjoy it so much watching it, and they end up there's a draw over what to do, so it means he doesn't get to keep the points, and he gets nothing.
Yeah.
And he's just absolutely hot, and it's honestly.
But I would, in that moment when Doc Brown's like, "I think if you take away those millimeters, it's all rim."
Yeah.
That would be me.
That's
talking about
exactly,
your task, and I'm
where-
sure that's where you would go. I would be.
And it would, and do you know what? In the spirit of the game, part of me would want to give it to you, but because it's you, I'm like, no, fuck him. He's not having the
No,
points.
and it would be like, I'm just, after you've done a task and Greg's sort of done dissecting it, I'd sort of be like, I'm just wondering, Greg, the wording of the task though, was it in, did he actually,
was it in keeping?
Because he did, he did very well, but was that actually what the task was? When you read the task.
Yeah, because I just imagine the look on your face if you win Taskmaster and I'm on it with you.
I'd be unbearable.
The first podcast we did afterwards, it would be on the table, facing me.
It would be.
You'd be stroking it the whole podcast.
Have you ever seen any of the Shagged, Married, Annoyed, or listened to any of the Shagged, Married, Annoyed podcasts when Chris Ramsey and Rosie Ramsey were on Bake Off together?
Okay, yeah.
And Chris won, even though Rosie's a baker and Chris has never fucking baked in his life. He won, and the first podcast they recorded after it, he came in wearing nothing but the apron.
Yeah.
She was like, and do you know what she was? I think the thing that made me laugh was she went, "Do you know what really annoys me? Is you actually look really fucking good right now." She's like, "You really can't, and it's really pissing me off."
That would be us.
But yeah, that's good because apparently her scones, she baked scones and they were a bit tough according to Paul Hollywood. And when Chris Ramsey got a handshake off his scones, and Rosie Ramsey was like, "Fuck off," and threw one at him, and he went, "Oh, you're right, Paul, they are a bit tough."
I think they're fantastic together. Them
They're
two. I'm not the biggest
value.
fan of their podcast. It's not something I listen to very often.
No, but they're very good value.
But they're good value.
But that would be 100% the head of Greg.
While
would
we're
be right
talking
there.
about couples, I've got just a very silly question. It's in my notes. You're getting food with Steph, right?
Sure.
You're going out to get food, and she's staying around yours, and you're like, "Babe, I'm going KFC. Do you want anything?"
Probably not, because she's gluten free. But I'll stick with it for the
She's
story.
not gluten free.
I'll stick with you for the story.
And she's like, "No, babe, I'm not hungry." And you're like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm not hungry." And
I
you're
think
like,
I know where you're going with this.
third time, just to double check. Like, no, now you're at KFC, and you're like, "Babe, just want to triple check before I order. Do you want anything?" She's like, "No, absolutely fine. My gluten intolerance and all that." Then you get back, you're about to chow down into your meal, and she's like, "Oh, that looks really nice." I think I know what the answer is to this, but she wants some.
She always wants some, baby.
And I'm not talking about the penis.
Oh, the food.
The food.
God, man. Do you know what's even worse about this is my mum's probably going to tell her that I said that. Do you know how awkward it is?
The fact your mum
when you make a
listens,
sexual comment
and your mum's going to listen,
and your mum
to it.
rats you out to your girlfriend. Do you know, I don't think anyone listening can comprehend how fucking awkward that is to hear about. Oh, spoke to your mum.
I mean, what's more upsetting, the fact she doesn't listen, or the fact that your mum's the one that fills her in?
No, it's awkward.
And I don't mean fills her in.
Listen.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, they might do. Who knows
You
what's
can
going
make
on?
those comments.
You keep going away for long stretches. What happens at home stays at home. Do you know what I mean?
So I would say, yes, I would relent and give her some.
Wow.
That's how much she means to me. That's how special. And listen,
that is growth, people.
Steph, you listen to this. I need to say bitch,
Are you just
but I don't
saying
think
that
that's going to
because
work
you know
my
your
favour.
mum's going to tell her?
No, and I'm not going to say bitch because that's not going to do my.
I mean, you might as well have said bitch.
You listen to this bit, okay, and you listen to his reaction to know how special that is,
Yeah.
that I would relent and give you some.
How much is some?
Not a lot. I'm not gonna lie,
You bought a Zinger Tower, or whatever the most recent one. There was the double one that came out recently.
Yeah.
That looked the nuts. She wants half. She wants you to cut that bad boy.
Well, that's not happening.
Down the middle.
That's just not
so.
happening.
How much is some?
If it's a Zinger,
because you're diminishing that.
If it's a Zinger double,
yeah,
I would take like half of one of the burgers.
Bit less special, Steph. Bit less special.
Because for anyone else, you're getting nothing. I take half one of the burgers, so I have half a single burger and half a double. Because I imagine part of the reason I got the double was because I wanted the double.
Yeah. So you're not sacrificing the whole.
And then a few chips or whatever, and then that's like you enjoy that.
Yeah.
Would you give Leanne if you were in that situation?
The thing is, I'm famously not good at sharing food.
I thought you were going to say, would you get her something anyway?
I would probably get Leanne something.
Yeah,
anyway.
I probably. If you know her well enough that you can gauge if she's being genuine, she doesn't want anything, or if she's just saying.
Although to be fair, Leanne normally she's not the sort of woman that like. We've not really been in that situation.
But sometimes you can tell she doesn't now, and she genuinely doesn't. But you know later, she will. So you kind of like, okay.
I'm the sort of guy. I love Leanne. You know I love Leanne.
This is going to be good. The fact you've got to preface that.
And I think she knows what my answer to this would be. I think I'd be like, what I might do, if it depends what mood I'm in at the time, if I'm being totally transparent. If I'm in a bad mood and I'm hungry, there's a good chance I say no, but I order her some more.
That's what I was going to say.
Do you know what I mean?
That would be enough
I'd
to get
be like,
Steph
look,
going.
There'll be some here. There'll be some here, but you're not fucking touching it. Or I'd be like, I'm ordering what I've just had again. I'll split it in half.
But then we're taking the other half off
I'm
you.
having half back off you when the next lot comes.
Yeah.
Because I've always been the sort of guy, like, I don't like sharing my food, but I will happily buy you your own.
Look, you know my views on sharing food.
No.
You've been
when you said you would give us some, I was expecting
you were
more
taken
than
back.
just...
You were really taken back.
I thought I knew what the answer to that question was.
But, you've been out with me on nights out where it's got famously awkward because of my...
You're just angry because you've not eaten.
I'm hungry. I don't share food.
I just remember us rocking up to someone's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And they wanted to go Nando's on a Friday night, hadn't booked a table, and you were just angry with it.
It's like an hour and a half wait.
You were angry with
the
whole situation, and you were like, I'm not fucking waiting.
Because the plan was Nando's, then bowling. Friday night, busy. This is back before COVID. People hadn't booked either. Hadn't booked either.
And I just remember
and we're meant to rock
around.
up with a group of like 15. Like, come on, man.
And you
on.
just fucked off and went to the McDonald's that was 100 yards away.
Correct.
I think you went and got yourself maybe some chips and nuggets.
Correct. I don't remember what I had.
Ate them on the way back, and then you were like, okay, I can deal with this again now.
Yeah, I
and in the end, I think half of us went
to Pizza
Pizza Express without them.
Where Dave mugged off the waitress.
What did he do to her? Oh, he
we
made
were
a
joking,
comment
and
about
then he
her
went,
job,
he went,
didn't
don't worry, we have shit jobs too.
And we were like, Dave, you've just said she's got a shit job.
Sake, Dave.
She's going to spit in all of our food.
Yeah, thanks for that, mate.
You.
Now my pizza's definitely going to have spit on it.
But yeah, no, you are famously not good with...
I'm stingy.
With food.
Oh, look, I own it.
I wouldn't even consider asking for some of your food. Do you know what I mean?
And that is the correct way to eat with me.
But partly because I wouldn't want you to do the same in reverse.
No,
you know I mean?
there's a respect element. You know, it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
But if with Steph, I would
You'd give her a few chips and a bit of
something.
Even though you know she's
something
food intolerant, you sick fuck.
Force it down her. You fucking eat that. You asked for it.
But it was like I told Leanne off the other night because I oversnacked the other night and I was feeling a bit sick. And I was like, babe, why didn't you stop me? And she was like, I nearly did. And I was like, you should. She was like, yeah, but you'd have ignored me. I was like, but the thought would have been nice.
You know, we're doing this walking challenge at the moment, me and Steph.
Yeah.
Because I can't let her have anything on her own. I've got muscle in all of it. I'm like, oh, that looks like fun. So
she's not allowed any joy without a man.
We got up at like, she wanted to do a 7 a.m. walk to go before work.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I think this was. And
it's the same thing I've ever heard.
I nearly said the day before, I was like, look, babe, like it takes me a good 30 minutes to get up and get ready. It can take me 10 if I'm really not asked about a lot of things, but I'm like, it's going to take me 30 minutes. But I didn't. I thought, no, she knows me well enough. But then she got me up with like 15 minutes to go. And so we were like 10, 15 minutes late leaving. And I was like, I nearly said she last night. She's like, then why fucking didn't you? And I was like, well, I blame you for not getting me up early enough, actually.
You should just know what I'm like.
Well, you should
It's
just
very
know what I'm like.
man-like.
So, yeah, that was a thing. Do you want to... Can I ask you one question?
Please do.
And then we can end on maybe something fun.
I think
a fun challenge.
whatever you ask me might be the last thing. We'll have to be quick.
I would do it then. If someone has something on their face, if I had something on my face, like on the right side,
Yeah.
how would you point to let me know?
It depends what it looked like, to be honest.
Like if I had a bit of food, if I was just eating a
I
pizza
probably
and there
would
was a
just
bit
point it out to be like, mate, you got a bit of...
And that's interesting that you've pointed to the right side of your own face there.
Yeah.
Whereas if I had something here, if you had something on your left cheek, as we're looking, I would mirror you and I'd point here.
Right.
So like if you point on your left cheek, so that's where the food is. In fact, for the camera, it probably works best the other side. If you point at your right cheek, that's where the food is. I'd go, oh, you've got something.
Yeah.
Pointing at my left cheek.
Yeah.
Whereas if I had something here, where would you point?
To the cheek you have it on, to this one.
Interesting. Steph and her mum do the same.
Well, because that's the logical way to do it. You would, like, if you had
No,
something
but you're
on
mirroring.
No, but if you had something on your leg, I wouldn't point to the opposite leg. Do you know what I mean? Or if I said your shoelace was untied, I'm not pointing to the wrong foot. Do you know what I mean?
I don't like. It's interesting. You don't think it would split, but I think it will split a room. That one. I don't think it's as violent as the.
I think that's a shit
sit or
version
stand.
of my
Yeah, sit or stand.
my
Sit or squat.
draw question or my door question.
Not even close. But
Door
ask it.
question is so much better.
Tell us and let us know what side would you point at if something was on the right hand side of someone's face.
These are
Would
the
you point
things
at?
they need to know.
And my dad, by the way, completely went against
I
the
just
thing.
wouldn't tell you.
No, I'd point at your face. Like if you had something there, he'd go.
No, but like if I'm with Leanne, I just like brush it off.
No, you don't touch someone's face. Like
I do all sorts of things to that person. I'm not afraid to touch her face.
now, that's like doing one of them.
I also do.
No, what is wrong? What fucking creep are you?
What do you mean?
That's creepy.
This woman, I'm going to marry her one day. Do you know what I mean? I'm allowed to touch her face.
I don't care who. Like you don't. Yeah, but you don't.
Like when she's got a mosquito bite, I lick it.
You lick a mosquito.
Or
Who
I,
licks
oh,
a
I
mosquito?
lick my
bite?
finger and put spit on it.
Do you not have afterbite or like mosquito things?
Not always.
Why'd you lick it?
Because I was taught at a young age, you lick a mosquito bite and it itches.
This is like a massive fucking cliffhanger to finish on. Like, yeah. I need to know if I'm the weird one here.
I think you are.
This needs to be our own normal or not. I need to know from the listeners whether people lick mosquito
You wouldn't
wounds.
lick Steph?
Oh, listen. I don't want to get into that territory.
Because your mum listens.
But like, if she had a
talks.
bite, I'd go and get some bite stuff. Maybe a flannel, maybe a wet tap, like a wet bit of paper or something. I wouldn't lick it. She gets so bitten anyway. I'd get a dry tongue just fucking trying to get them all.
Oh, I lick Leanne.
That's what I've heard.
I just lick her for a laugh sometimes.
Yeah, boy.
You lick her for a laugh.
Like, no, we have this thing where like,
I know what you mean, but it sounds very sexual.
it's not. But like, if we're cuddling or something and say like I've got
licks.
my head on her arm, I'll like we call it dabbing. where
I
you
don't
just, like,
fuck with
gently-
licks. Licks is dirty, man.
The way I look at it personally, right, is I'm exchanging bodily fluids with this person. So feeling uncomfortable about that sort of thing just seems really silly to me.
I don't like being licked. Listen.
You're missing out, mate. That's all I can say.
Yeah, boy.
A good lick now and again goes a long way.
Fuck, I can't believe. Like, you licked the
You
mosquito.
asked the wrong man. You asked the wrong man.
Please write to us and tell us whether you lick a mosquito. bite.
I think you'll find people that are more... I'm trying to think of a generous way to put this. Like, potentially high maintenance are more against that sort of thing.
Wow.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
Do you think I'm high maintenance? I mean, I probably am, but that's...
I think you're higher maintenance than me.
Maybe.
I'm pretty
Maybe.
easy going. I just want a bit of food. Do you know what I mean? A chill out.
See, there's 3 Fs.
Go on.
I needn't.
I wish you would. Because your mum's going to be curious now.
Food.
Friends?
Fingering. No. Friends.
Fucking.
Food. Friendship.
Fornication.
And a little bit of And nothing I say here is
Fucking
going.
licking.
Everything I say now is going to sound like a euphemism. Do you know what I mean?
Canoodling.
I mean, it's great, but it doesn't start with an F.
Depends.
It leads to an F.
It's silent.
Listen. Not the way I do it. A lot of noise.
From you,
From me. Do you know what this isn't a noise thing, but do you know what we realised when we were doing the steps? We compare steps at the end of every day. And like, so far we've done the same walks and stuff, but I come in higher every day and we've worked out what it is.
I think I know what my guess is.
Go on.
Is it because you're short?
No, it's because I can't stay still.
Oh, okay.
It's because even when we're standing still, I'll walk
I
back
thought
and
you
forth.
meant like you're doing the same walk together.
No,
and
we're
you're
doing
coming
this,
out with
but then
more.
when we're stopping anywhere...
But then your missus is short as well, so...
But then when we're stopping anywhere, she'll stop and I'm just up and about. Like the other day, we were sitting in the garden in my mum and dad, well, you know, and...
In the stately manner.
I just kept getting up and walking. Like just wandering around the patio because I can't not.
I'm more of my... As you know, I've got wandering hands.
You have to wander hands.
I have fidgety hands. I like to have stuff in my hands. And like when I was doing one of my courses...
That's why we get on so well.
Yeah. You like to be touched and I like to touch.
Just a match made in heaven.
And someone eventually said to me on the course after like, I think it was the third day, they were like, you don't like sitting still, do you? And I said, it's idle hands. I don't like not having... Because I'd be listening and I'm engaging in what the person's saying, but I need to be doing something at the same time.
I mean, this is fine, but you'll notice, as anyone watching on YouTube will notice, I switch positions.
Oh, same.
Frequently.
Same.
Frequently. You and I, we're not that different, you and I.
No.
We're not that different.
We're all human, after all. I'm only
Do-do-dum.
human,
Do-do-do-do-dum.
after all. Don't let the blame on me.
Ba-da-bum. Ba-da-ba-da-bum.
Don't let the blame... Ah, fucked it. Oh!
Do you know what? I had one of my passengers fucked it when we were going into Galway. I was like, John Sington, I want to sing Galway Girl.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. He went, she played in the band, and he was like, fuck. He literally dropped his...
Played the fiddle in an Irish band.
But he literally went, she played in the band. Oh, fuck. It just...
It happens.
It rolled all
It
into one. He was like,
happens. You fumble the bag.
It's so good.
You fumble.
But then
You
he
know
did it. He did it. It was like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Random question. You asked me and Alex a question, and you were talking about there was Quidditch lessons going on.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck is... or broomstick lessons. What the fuck is a broomstick lesson?
You get a broom.
Right.
And then you sort of just
Just
run
put it
around in a
between
field
your
with it. They do
So
teach
it's
you.
exactly what I thought
They
it was
do
gonna
teach
be.
you how to take photos with it where it looks like you're
Flying.
pulling it up into your hand. No, and flying, but you know if you jump at the right time. But they teach you how to do it so you can take a series of photos and it look like you're summoning the broom.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
I'm sure I've got one somewhere.
That's a good place to end it. Guys, let us know what you think of the whole episode. Which one out of me and Jake is normal and which one's weird? Me being the licker. Jake
Just quite
being the
specifically with the
non-licker.
licking. Don't just go deep into it.
No, go deep. Always go deep.
When you're licking. Oh, no. What is wrong with me?
I go deep when I'm licking.
Get in there, boy.
Nice and deep, like.
You follow them wandering hands with that wandering tongue.
But you can let us know on... Jake, point to the screen! Crossing Swords on Facebook. At Swords Crossing on Twitter. Instagram and TikTok. Crossing Swords 19 at G... No, I've completely fumbled it. It's one of those days. Let's try this again.
I fumbled
you
it
can
earlier.
find us on Instagram and TikTok at CrossingSwords_podcast. You can email us at CrossingSwords19@gmail.com, and you can find the visual episodes, not just the audio, in the link to every description of the audio episodes.
Yeah, boy.
Get on it, like it, share it, follow our TikTok, watch the clips. They're pretty good, to be fair, I think.
A little biased, but I'm with you.
Yeah, get on board, and we'll see you next time.
On the board!